everybody. Monday Morning Quarterback, episode 75. Hope you all had a fantastic start to your week. I'll apologize ahead of time. I'm fighting a bit of a chest cold, so hopefully you can hear me clearly and I don't stop to cough too many times during the video. So, weekend off for me personally last week. We had a family wedding. Would have loved to be on the West Coast hanging out with the guy we're going to talk to a little bit later at the Hagopian Memorial Race. Jake did go to the Hagopian Memorial over in Wheatland, Missouri at Lucas Oil Speedway. So that's another one that we would like to get to. But busy travels this week with the Four Crown. So we have quarter midgets going on up on the hill, and then down at the big track, midgets, sprint cars, and Silver Crown. So big busy weekend for us. Factory support trailer will be up top at the quarter midget track, and then we'll be shuffling back and forth for all 3 days. So a lot on tap. Hudson's going to make his dirt debut, so that should be exciting, and we're looking forward to catching up with some of our customers there. So the guy we're going to bring on here in a bit, been friends with for a long time, and he's been a long time advocate and brand ambassador for us at CSI, and he just got done promoting a race in his father's honor. That scared me, and had a very successful weekend at that race, and so we're going to bring him on to talk about 2 times in a row. To talk about that. Apologize, I'm all flustered now. And we'll get rid of the phone holder. And we're going to talk about that along with his driven chassis brand and everything he's got going on there. So let's get Jake on the line here to talk with us about what he's got cooking.
Hello.
Jake, you are live with us Monday Morning Quarterback, and thanks for taking the time. We know you're busy after coming off of a whirlwind of a weekend for you and your family promoting the race in your dad's honor, and certainly a very special weekend with all the success that the driven cars had, going 8 for 8 in a business that you and your dad built and you've carried on. So tell us first a little bit about the race. Obviously, it's in your dad's memory, but where it's located and who was racing and that kind of stuff.
Well, when my dad passed away a couple years ago, it was into 2016. So when things kind of settled down, just kind of talking around the table, it had kind of got put out there that he was interested in becoming maybe a racetrack promoter one day down the line if he ever found like a good friend or a partner that he can go in on it with, and so to me, I was like, you know what, I can't do that, but I think we should do a race for him, knowing that he wanted to, try to do something like that and grow the sport. And, he really enjoyed Plaza Park Raceway in Visalia, California, which is about 35, 40 minutes from us. And it's one of the premier facilities in the whole country. And so to me, growing up around Plaza Park, it just made sense to try to just put everything we could into building a big event in his honor, but ultimately try to, give back and grow the sport. And, after 3 years of doing it, man, this weekend, it was awesome. Like, everything went off without a hitch. We had 120 cars in the pits, good racing. Zeb Wise came out. Last year we had Frank Flood. So I'm just hoping this thing just grows and grows and grows and, turns into a national event with a lot of rapport.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a marquee micro event since the first running of it, and it looks like it's just grown and grown. You guys, one of the things that makes me want to come out there, other than getting to visit with you guys and going to Plaza Park, which is a track I raced at as a kid, is all the cool promotion you guys put on. It's, everything from dads racing bicycles to frisbee tosses and driver autograph stuff, and really bringing the promotion aspect back in it, which for the people sitting in the stands, if you can grab the attention of 1 or 2 of those young kids and bring them into the sport, it's just a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure. Growing up, we weren't allowed to race until we were 8 years old, luckily, but 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you had to be 14 to race. And so there was a lot more kids in the stands wanting to be what they saw on the track, and nowadays we've kind of lost a little bit of that fan interaction and kind of trying to grow the sport to the youth because, a good majority of our sport is youth now. So I've been to Australia a couple times, and the way they promote racing down there is just like, it's a big deal. New Zealand and Australia, there's a lot of gimmicks, there's a lot of fanfare and stuff, and I felt like that was necessary for this race, and so being able to go to the Tulsa Shootout, being able to go to the High Banks Hustle, and just experience a few big races around the country, we've kind of taken a little piece of all of them and trying to just put it all together and make our version of the best premier event we can put on in California. And I know we have some of the best competition around, and so we always have to go to the Midwest to race. We have to go to the Tulsa Shootout to race, to be part of those big events. So it was our goal to be able to put on a large-scale event with national rapport for our competition out here, in hopes that one day everybody from that direction, your guys' side of the country, will want to be out here racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think you're doing that, and as the event continues to grow, I think you'll just continue to see a migration of Midwest people, and I know you had a bunch of guys travel down from Washington. I think just that's going to grow, and the event's going to continue to grow. Are you planning on similar dates for 2020 around this mid-September area?
Yeah, we are. We're going to put a post out at the end of the week. We're definitely going to keep the same weekend. The weather's nice. The threat of rain in California, I don't want to say this, but it's real minimal. So we're pretty confident in the weather. It's sunny. The evenings are cool. It's comfortable. So yeah, we're planning on the same weekend. And it's, we're going to try to make it bigger and better, stay within our means. But just the thing about this race is I think the first year everybody showed up and, everybody just had an open mind. They wanted to be a part of something, and, just it was a good community of racers coming together. And so we've been able to keep that vibe, and I'm proud of that. And I really want to, make this race live off of that idea that we're all part of something and we can all contribute. And for us, on a weekly basis, with owning a manufacturing company and a parts business, not everybody does business with us, and that's okay. But, sometimes, our efforts don't always expand to other people that are within the industry or other competitors and whatnot. So for me, honoring my dad, being involved in the racing community, this is our way of being able to do this for the whole community, make everyone realize that what we have, we want to make the sport grow. We want to make everybody feel like the effort that they're putting in is worthwhile, and, notoriety for what we do, because it's some of the best racing and we have some of the best drivers around. It's really competitive and it's really entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. You guys prove it each and every year at the shootout. The A mains are generally 40 to 50% California cars. The competition is extremely tough out there. So tell us a little bit about Driven Performance and in the D1 chassis. I believe we started working with you in 2010, and it was in the infancy of CSI, and D1 was just getting off the ground, and so it's been cool to watch our businesses grow together. You've certainly been a great brand ambassador for us, and we've loved working with you. You've always represented us in such a professional manner. But tell us a little bit about why Driven Performance in D1. We know Hagopian, I think it was Hagopian Engineering, had been around forever. I think you guys built wings for us when we had 250 micros 25, 30 years ago. But tell us a little bit about the business side of it and what you got going on there.
Well, my dad started racing out of high school in the late 70s at the old Jet Bowl in Lemoore here. So the microsprint racing in Central California runs, way back into the 50s. So my dad was a part of the micro midget days, the rear engine cars. And so through the 80s, as he became more proficient, back then you couldn't just buy parts. Torsion bars were ratchet wrenches. They got a half-inch drive prototype for a right rear bar and a 3/8 Craftsman for the left rear. I mean, that's just the way they made it work. So he had a little bit of ingenuity. So he was able to kind of make parts, and people would come to the track and they'd borrow stuff from him, and they'd never give it back. So eventually he started taking receipts to the track to get his parts back. Hey, like, either you got to buy that or give it back. And guys would just say, well, just make me another one. And that's kind of how Hagopian Engineering came about. He wasn't an engineer, but he just kind of went off that he was able to come up with parts and kind of make race cars work in that era. So it spawned a relationship with Mark Stollard, and he was a Stollard chassis dealer for many years, and we still have a really great relationship with Mark Stollard. He's like my East Coast uncle. And so that goes back, all the way through the 90s, and then my dad built junior sprints, and he really helped get the junior sprint deal going in California in the mid 90s through the early part of the 2000s when me and my brother were racing junior sprints. And so kind of fast forward about 10 years, I didn't race a whole lot when I was in high school. The racing deal kind of slowed down for us, and then when I got out of high school, stayed in Fresno, went to Fresno State, and we started racing again, running a Stollard 600. And then Driven got going again in 2010. If you're a Driven customer, everybody's familiar with Gary Olson, who runs our parts department, our front desk. Gary was looking for work, and he's been in the racing industry for forever. He's a real familiar face, a real familiar voice. And so my dad decided to get back into the parts thing, and rebirth Hagopian Engineering. So in 2010, it turned into Driven Performance, and we were just a local speed shop, real general. And then, we got D1 going in 2012, and that was with a former employee of ours, Jared Huckleberry. We all had a lot of success together. And 2015, my dad just wasn't interested in being in the racing industry anymore. He was wanting to kind of, slow down in life, kind of travel a little bit, start going into retirement mode, and he gave me the opportunity to buy him out. So I bought out Driven Performance in 2015, and everybody knows about Driven Midwest. We did Driven Midwest a couple months after that, and it's just snowballed from there. I mean, if he was here today, I don't think he would have realized how big it was going to get. I mean, we're still not a hyper racing, but just the expansion of being involved with Frank and Harley in the Midwest, and then Ryan Greth and Wayne in the East Coast, and then Nathan Pronger and the GW Racing people in Australia. We've kind of spread our wings, and it's kind of crazy. We just have really great customers, really great drivers, and it's been great. It's been a whirlwind, but it's been really great.
Yeah, you guys certainly do an excellent job, and your cars always look first class and run up front. So this weekend, you guys dominated this event you promoted, which was awesome to see. You went 8 for 8, winning junior sprint both nights, restricted both nights, non-wing both nights, and then yourself won Super 600 both nights in, I believe, the new Gen 3 car. So tell us a little bit about that, because in this business, you're evolving and changing, or you're getting steamrolled. So you always got to be working on something new, and as the boss of the place, I'm sure you're the guinea pig for the new stuff. So tell us a little bit about the new car.
The new car at the beginning of the year was we left Tulsa, and we had a good weekend, the shootout, and we had a chance to win the Outlaw division. It just wasn't in the cards. We were fast in A class, so we left there knowing that we need to start trying stuff. And so we started the season. I was really experimenting, and we kept it hush hush with what we were doing. And there's a kid out here by the name of Corey Day. He's won the Tulsa shootout, and I'm sure a lot of guys out there are familiar with his name. We put Corey in my car, and we had a lot of success with this experimental car. And we ran it through Speed Week. It was different. It's not like anybody hasn't tried it before, but we had good nights, and we had nights where we were scratching our head, but we learned a lot. And so we kind of reverted back to what we know, and we made some adjustments. And so the new Gen 3 car that we're putting out in 2020, it's a new look, it's a new body. We just debuted it this weekend. It's sleek, it's user-friendly. We've got, we've got the driver more comfortable. We gave him more room. You know, we're trying to get the hot air out of the cockpit. The radiator's cooling better. And then, you know, we got guys that race, you know, in places where the tracks are rough and tough them. So we've evolved, and we've added a raise rail to the left side of the chassis to get a little bit more ground clearance. We're doing some stuff with safety. We've got the outlaw bars in our chassis now. You've seen those on the sprint cars on the World of Outlaw Tour. We're putting that option in our cars, you know, trying to make things safe. We're trying to head off any issues. So just things like that have evolved into what the Gen 3 is. It's still what we know, and it's, you know, on a weekly basis we have so many customers all over the country that are successful, and the last thing we want to do is ruin that, you know. And so, like you said, if you're not moving forward, you're getting complacent and you're going to get bit. But you know, just being able to be the guinea pig this year and go outside the box and try stuff, it really solidified it. It really solidified what we were doing was the right thing. And so we've been able to understand what we've been doing more because of trying stuff and stepping outside of our comfort zone, and understanding, you know, it's helped us understand spring rates better and what each individual driver can achieve by, you know, messing around with those things and kind of working on a car that's a little bit backwards from what we know, and trying to anticipate what it's going to do, and actually being wrong and looking back at it and saying, okay, this is why it's doing that, because we've never looked at it from this angle before. We've never understood it from this side of the fence. So now that we know, you know, what we're doing wrong, we can understand why we're doing things right. And so that was the biggest benefit from the experimental of what could have potentially been a very different Gen 3 to being just a more evolved, refined version of what we were doing in the past.
Sure. As we're winding this down, anybody that's tuned in, there's 50 or so of you. If you have a question for Jake, go ahead and type it and I'll relay it to him. So the Gen 3, is there an update that's available for current cars, or is it a totally different piece? Maybe the new body will work on an older car?
So the new body will work on an older car. We were really adamant about making sure that it will be adaptable to an older car. They only have to add 2 Zeus tabs to the whole thing if you want to run it. So that's the nice thing. We sectioned the hood into 4 pieces, so you could keep your old arm guards and run the new hood, or you can keep your old hood and run the new arm guards. So we've made the arm guards 2 pieces. So the main thing behind all that was make it user friendly, but at the same time get the shipping rates down so we can package things a little bit tighter and get people new bodies faster without having to spend a lot of money on shipping. Or, you know, somebody climbs your left rear and tears up your left side arm guard. Maybe you don't have to replace the whole thing, you know, maybe just one piece of it. So we were just trying to be more mindful of the customer and, you know, go further with their dollar, but also provide a new look that was more user friendly.
Cool. Well, it doesn't appear anybody has any questions for you. I know it's dinner time out there and you got 2 little guys and a wife, so I'll let you get going. We certainly appreciate you coming on, and we'll try to have you back again sometime soon.
Thanks, Garrett. We really appreciate everything.
Yep. Take care, buddy.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. All right. So that was Jake Hagopian, Driven Performance, builder of micro sprint chassis and junior sprint chassis out on the West Coast. I apologize for the hiccup earlier. I had this set up for an hour on my desk while I was doing paperwork, and it never moved, and then it decided to spring apart twice in a couple minutes. So that's the way it usually works. So I'm here to answer any tech questions you have, CSI related, pit logic related, and if you don't have any, that's fine too. I know a lot of you tuned in to hear what Jake had to say about the Mark Hagopian Memorial Race and his driven D1 chassis. So all you guys that are tuned in, let us know if you're still racing, if you got any races coming up this week, or if your season's winding down. I know growing up on the West Coast, our season was a lot longer. We would run into mid-November, but when I moved out here, it's like when high school football starts, racing really winds down, especially the Friday night stuff. I think all the Friday night racing here in Indiana is done, and so it starts winding down. There's not as much going on, and we start to branch out at that point to travel. to other areas to see customers and help customers. So looking forward to our West Coast trip later in the year. We're going to go to Texas for a 10,000 to win micro race, and then out to California for the Hangtown 100 at Placerville, and then Bakersfield. Probably stop in and see Jake at Driven on our way through, and then to Vegas for the quarter midget race for the Winter Nationals. So Randall's going to get the long haul award next year. John, that's you go coast to coast. That's definitely one that you should hit. Seems like a fun race. You go out there for California Micro Week when it's like hotter than hot. I mean, it gets just miserably hot in Central California in July, so much more pleasant this time of year. Eric Long, why are hypercoil quarter midget springs 8-pound differences versus 5? So they're not all 8-pound jumps, but the reason I was told when we were working with hypercoil, developing that spring initially, was the size that they could get the material in regularly. When they wound it to the height that we wanted with that diameter, it turned out to be 108. So rather than calling it a 110, they knew they could consistently make 108-pound springs. So that's what they marked it. And same thing, the next diameter up of spring, when they wound it, ground it to the right size, it was 116. So let's not call it a 115, let's call it a 116. I know that was a shock for a lot of people at first. Everybody thought they needed springs in every 5-pound increment, but I've been using hypercoil stuff for 5 years, and I've never ran into an instance where I thought, oh man, this 8-pound spring change is just too much. It's not going to work. So the nice side of it for our customers is you don't have to keep as many springs in the trailer because there's just not as many sizes. So that is the answer to that. Does anybody else have any questions here before we sign off? We episode 75, so we're approaching 100. I haven't done the math to see when that will be. We usually take a month or so off when we go to Shootout and Chili Bowl. I think from Christmas to Chili Bowl we took off last year. But going to plan something big for episode 100. So as we brought Jake in tonight, we were able to get audio from him, except for my phone jumped off the desk twice. But I would like to see how to chime in video, nice clean video. So that would really open up our opportunities as we're doing these shows to bring in more of our customers and manufacturers and distributors we work with around the country. So, and it's easy for us to get West Coast guests because it's only 6 o'clock out there, so where it's approaching 9:30 here. So who's winning the football games? Anybody paying attention to that? Redskins and Bears. It was a new era for me yesterday, life without Drew Brees as a New Orleans Saints fan, and it played out okay. I'm hoping we take it to the Cowboys so I can rub it into Trevor this weekend, but we still got a lot of football to play before Drew's back. So, how about Margaritaville live from the Tulsa Shootout? We should do we're going to do more lives from Tulsa this year. Maybe not a Monday morning quarterback, but we're there for so damn long. We do need to do some more lives for Tulsa. And excited to see Colin Mitchell race there this year. And we got so many quarter midget customers that are moving up through the ranks that will be at the Tulsa Shootout. So that's an event that we look forward to. 14-0 Bears. Wow, they were ready to fire Trubisky, and he's a terrible quarterback. And I swear, not only in football, but in everything in life, people are so impatient nowadays. So here's a rookie quarterback last year that, what did he go, 11-5 or 10-6 or something, takes him to the playoffs, and after 2 weeks of his second season, he's off to a slow start, and let's get rid of him. It's unbelievable how impatient people are. And it's the same in racing. You have one bad night and people are ready to scrap the whole program and go to something else. And Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. So, all right, any other questions? 21-0. Wow, the Bears are doing good. So Cool. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you had a fantastic week. Tag us in those wins at CSI Shocks, or hashtag CSI Shocks, hashtag winning with CSI. One last thing that we will show you here is if you are coming to PRI, we are having another shock seminar. So last year I did two. I did one Friday night and one Sunday. That was just a lot for me to do during PRI week. We sold them both out. So this year we're just doing one on Sunday. So half as many slots available. We have, I think, 8 slots left of the 20. So if you're coming to PRI and you want to attend the shock seminar, sign up. It will sell out, and it's probably going to be the only one we do over the off season. We might do a quarter midget chassis seminar, set up kind of a whole quarter midget seminar in the spring. But this will probably be the only shock seminar we do this off season, as we have a very busy travel schedule. So cool. We appreciate everything from you guys, and thank you for tuning in. Please like and share our page. We'll get to, I think I have 4 or 5 of these to upload to our YouTube channel, and then they will all be there. And we hope you all have a fantastic week, and we will catch up with you guys soon. Take care.